Howdy everybody, this is Omar, your Audio Amigo, here today with another Audio Amigo Addendum video for y'all. This is going to be a quick follow-up to my original review for the Kiwi Ears Atheia twin driver headphone, featuring an upgrade suggestion and a change in my ranking due to an issue that has developed. What this video is actually about are these Wicked Cushions Stealth Z FPS earpads. These specific ones are for the HyperX Cloud series of headphones, but they fit the Kiwi Ears Atheia just fine, and they have a profound effect on the overall sound signature for the Atheia. We'll talk about that later, though. For now, my quick disclaimer. Gadgetry Tech, a good friend of mine, check him out up here. He does amazing reviews of headphones, IEMs, headsets. He arranged to have a set of these Wicked Ears Stealth Z cushions sent to me for evaluation. He works very closely with Wicked Cushions. I am not being paid for this review, but because I received these for free, I've gone ahead and activated the paid promotion feature here on YouTube. I do these disclaimers because I believe in full transparency when there's potential bias besides my own personal taste at play. Thank you so much to Gadgetry Tech and the Wicked Cushions team for sending these out, and thanks to y'all watching for your continued support. So as you can see here, the Stealth Z series of earpads are full velour earpads designed to be breathable and comfortable for long gaming sessions. These, as I said, are intended for the HyperX Cloud series of headphones, but they fit onto the Atheia basically perfectly. The stitching quality and the density of the foam here is right in line with some of the more premium replacement earpads that I've experienced. Now that summer is in full swing, over-ear headphones are becoming less comfortable due to my ears overheating, but I did find that the Stealth Z pads here did provide a noticeably cooler experience compared to the stock sort of leatherette pads on the Kiwi Ears Atheia that you can see here. While I had to limit my listening time with the original pads due to ear sweat and just overall heat, the Stealth Z pads here outlasted my stock pads by about 2 hours before I felt like I needed to give my ears a breather. As I said, that's a noticeable improvement. I don't have thermal imaging pictures for these tests, as my thermal imaging camera is slightly on the fritz, but trust me, in terms of cooling, these are a marked improvement. The other big change that the Wicked Cushions pads provide is the sound signature. Gadgetry Tech first posted about this on Twitter. I'll put the tweet up here. And if you look at his graph, as soon as I saw that tweet, I knew I wanted to try these on the Atheia. Basically, these pads here go a long way in fixing what I think are the two biggest flaws of the sound of the Atheia. The first being its boomy, overwhelmingly soft, and very smeary bass presentation, and the second being its very anemic and unbalanced mid-range. After swapping to the Stealth Z pads, what I heard basically matches what Gadgetry Tech's graphs say. The Atheia became a much more sort of all-rounder headphone sound. The clarity was better, the instrument separation was better, the imaging was better. The bass was still a bit overwhelming. It still had good impact, but it was less overpowering and domineering over the rest of the music than it was with the stock earpads. Female vocals were still pushed very forward in that pleasant way I described in my original review, and the treble was honestly overall still fairly nice. These pads just smooth things over nicely, making it a much more listenable headphone. The Atheia went, for me personally, from being a sort of sometimes headphone that I only really pulled out for bass head moments to a more everyday alternative that I would reach for from time to time to enjoy female vocals with sort of big bass, sort of an EDM forward headphone, if you will. I did daily drive it for a week or two with these new pads until what I'm about to talk about happened. So, about 3 or 4 days into daily driving these with the new and improved sound, thanks to these Stealth Z cushions, they started coming apart. You can see here that the glue on my headband has just come undone, and it's beginning to come undone here on the other side. This comfort pad here on the top is not stitched, it is just glued into place, and the glue, at least on my model, is failing. This is less than a year old. This is, I think, 3-4 months old, essentially. These are by no means my daily driver headphones. I keep them in their carry case in my house. It is not super hot. It is not super humid. It is a controlled environment, and I find it absolutely inexcusable that the headband is failing this early in this way. What that means is I have a change to make. Let's go ahead and pull up the ranking, because in my review I rated these as "but I like this," because although the sound quality wasn't sort of ideal for an all-rounder headphone. I felt that the nice build quality and good comfort meant that with some EQ, I could see people seriously daily driving these as long as you were willing to fix the frequency response issues. And I hold that to be true. If you can get these for a good price and you put these Stealth Z cushions on there, I think these could be a pretty decent sort of all-rounder daily driver headphone. However, the build quality has now been found to be wanting compared to my original impression. The issue with the 3.5mm jacks being wired wrong was acknowledged by Kiwi Ears and was found to be a factory error with the first batch. But failing glue on the suspension strap is something that is probably going to be a much more widespread problem that affects a whole lot more units than just my early review copy here. It's a real shame, but I'm going to be pushing the Atheia down to good. I still think it's a very comfortable headphone, even more now that I have the Stealth Z cushions on it, but it'll only be comfortable until the rest of this strap comes unglued and it falls off completely. Far as I know, replacement parts are not available for this from any store, easily accessible. You're probably going to have to message Kiwi Ears to get a replacement for this, and whether or not they'll actually sell you one is yet to be seen. I might do a quick update video for that. But honestly, I cannot recommend you buy these unless, as I said, in my full review video, you're a modder who will happily rebuild these or mod these as many times as it takes for them to become sort of better built. It's a real bummer. Something that I can fully recommend, however, is these Stealth Z Earpads. As long as they fit your headphone, they're a pretty easy comfort upgrade, and if you want to tame the bass and boost treble, as they claim that they do, they're specifically tuned for that purpose. The price is right. $30 is under what I feel a lot of the more premium pads charge, and this is definitely a very premium feeling pad. And while I can't comment on durability, as I've only been daily driving them for less than a week before the headband died, the general consensus online is that these tend to hold up fairly well, and these are gamers who put hours and hours and hours of use on their pads. If you own a Kiwi Ears Atheia and the suspension comfort band hasn't failed yet, I strongly suggest you pick up a set of these and try them out. They are game changers as far as the sound is concerned, and I highly, highly think that it is a sort of recommended upgrade for these. Go out and get a pair. But that's going to wrap up my little addendum mini-series. We'll be back to bigger and fuller reviews soon. But for now, I just want to say thanks again to Joe from Gadgetry Tech and the whole team at Wicked Cushions for sending me these pads. It's a real shame that the Atheia didn't hold up. I feel like with these pads, if this was intact, this would have made my sort of weekly headphone rotation much more often. But, oh well, that's going to do it for now. As always, thank you all so much for watching and for your continued support. I really hope you enjoyed the video. This has been Omar with Audio Amigo Reviews, and I will catch you all next time.